Great. Okay, so I'm going to blast through a bunch of images on the screen really fast about MediaNet. MediaNet is not a new company. This is a business that was founded by Warner, BMG, EMI, and Real Networks a dozen years ago. And so if we can figure out how to advance our story here, there we go. And so in those initial bunch of years, MediaNet powered with respect to the music files themselves and a ton of services that sit on top of the music files, powering big branded services, well, billions of billions of downloads and streams. Now, 35 million tracks later, looking back, this was an idea to provide infrastructure to small companies that had a chance of becoming big businesses that were going to be about downloading or streaming music. And you can see on this graphic that along the way we've done a lot of that with many companies whose names you've heard over the years. AOL and Yahoo and Microsoft and even eBay. Now Mog, Beats, Daisy on the services end. Hundreds and hundreds of app providers around the world, Songs, Turntable, and many others, and who knows where this is going. However, we've been providing open APIs and supporting every conceivable business model that a digital music service might want to offer since the beginning, or really shortly after the very beginning of the digital era. And this image is one that people talk about a lot for companies that are in the historic business that MediaNet has been in for the last dozen years, and that is that where most of our customers are building awesome services that engage people and give them the music that they love and want to find however they want to consume it, that there's a lot of heavy lifting required underneath the waterline. And that's the business that MediaNet is historically in. And so we enable application developers to be able to get into business fast and cheap, try stuff, learn, grow, and hopefully become great companies and great customers of ours. And so, this is MediaNet's historic business. It's one that we have been in, operating companies that are just starting out, all the way up to the largest businesses that are operating music services at scale in the world, and for quite a while. But what I'm interested in talking about, and really the reason why I joined MediaNet a couple of months ago, was to enter the publishing, reporting, and administration business. There's no doubt that if you have been doing this music stuff for any period of time, that the area where there is still the most friction is in this one. And so some people have asked me, Larry, why is MediaNet doing this? This is kind of hard to do. And the fact is, publishing administration really is hard to do. And we know that because we've been at the pointy end of this for quite a long time. So a couple of years ago, MediaNet was itself on the wrong end of copyright infringement litigation for having exposed a couple of compositions to our customers' users when they were not cleared during a time when MediaNet was being supported by one of the existing commercial services that is still very much in business today, doing rights administration. Now, the total amount of money that those that those compositions would have earned during those periods of exposure would have been something under $25. Now, many of you may be contemplating building applications that use music and either sit on top of our API or somebody else's. But publishing administration, if you're not doing just plain vanilla DMCA streaming, represents a challenge. So 2.5 years and $5 million worth of litigation later, MediaNet's board, and several years ago MediaNet was sold by the founding companies to a private equity firm, so business people, not music people, turned to the people who were running MediaNet at the time and said, fix this. You can't rely on the commercial services that do rights administration anymore. They don't really do a good enough job. And the reason why we say that we can do it better is because of the way that we actually do matching compositions based on the fingerprints of the 26 million tracks that we have actually quite a lot of experience with, rather than matching on just metadata. And so, for those of you that may be relatively new to the business, let's just say that when it comes to digital music, there are fundamentally two buckets of rights. There's the bucket of rights that extends to the record company and the recording artist, and then there's the bucket of rights that extends to the publisher and songwriter. And unfortunately, there isn't a way to easily clear all of the music publishing that you might want to clear in order to build your awesome service. Again, unless you're just doing a vanilla DMCA non-interactive streaming. And so this is hard to do. In fact, building great music products is also hard to do. But those are two completely different skill sets. Running an awesome back end that is in compliance with the law, which is pretty arcane and very complex, and building great music services that people love. And so when you overlay the fact that infringement claims can be a company killer, fortunately it didn't kill us, it only made us stronger. Where that brings us is to the launch of this service, MediaNet's Rights Administration Service. And so we will match on the many millions of compositions that are embodied in 26 million recordings, based on the fingerprint files as well as the metadata that we are provided by our customers, who are people like you. On the one hand, they are people who are building applications and new kinds of services, all the way up through the largest service operators who are serving global audiences under license from the major music companies in the major territories and operating at scale. And we are addressing compositions that are cleared by both the Harry Fox agency and those that are not. There are many thousands that are not. And so here again, look, if you're a music service operator, build yourself a brilliant service, get licensed, hopefully get a lot of traction, millions of users, monetize, and then run your awesome service at the lowest possible cost. If you're a label, you're facing a different set of opportunities and challenges. What we do is take out all of the ugly stuff, all of the complexity, and frankly, the risk required in doing your mechanical licensing, processing your usage data, and paying the appropriate publishers and agencies. And so we administer licenses, both compulsory and voluntary, on your behalf, so you can run your business and build awesome stuff. And that's basically the story here. So, you could do it yourself if you want. We've spent $80 million in a dozen years doing this so far. You're welcome to do it if you want. Or you can do the really engaging, exciting, I think, important work involved with getting people to pay money or attention to music through some new application that you are building or might build. And so, whether you get your music files from us or from the record companies directly or from one of the other companies that does white label service provisioning, you should have MediaNet do the rights administration on the back end, because now that we're doing this, there's no reason for you to do this. And that's all I've got.
All right.